Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the weekly kickoff. All right, now ending last week, a little bit of a nuisance. The whole court turning over Trump's tariffs and then putting them back on. It was a bit of a calamity, right? So the market's a little bit confused, and this is something that we sort of need to take into consideration. I've been trading the crosses a lot more than usual, taking the US dollar out of the situation, right? Take it off the table. Now, also maybe looking at the longer game, right? The daily charts, there's a lot more consistency with the overall trends in your longer term charts. Now, let me just give you a look at that because there's answers here where to make money when the markets are a little bit chaotic like this. Now, I've just gone through and updated all my hourly charts for the major currency pairs. I've got to say, euro, right, is a very big highlight here, right? It's coming up to a resistance level. I'm not suggesting you get into the trade now, but this is definitely something we need to focus on at the start of the week. And also dollar CAD, right? If we start to see oil head towards, 65 bucks, 70 bucks a barrel, then dollar CAD looks set up for a move to the downside. And it's a big week for the CAD, right? We've got the Bank of Canada interest rate meeting, no change expected, right? But just looking across the board here, euro and dollar CAD, probably the two standouts for me just at the moment. If I had to choose one, euro, right? So that's something to keep an eye on. Now, just what I was saying there about playing the long game, right? If you look at the daily charts, you would be oblivious to the dramas that have been playing out, in the markets with regards to Trump since he's been in, Liberation Day, the tariffs, no tariffs, tariffs, no tariffs, all this sort of stuff, right? The dollar index, it is just trending down quite nicely, right? And dollar Swiss, well, you've seen a couple of big knee jerks based on like a bit of a safe haven move. Dollar yen, right? It is trending lower, but we are seeing these occasional big pullbacks on the back of some crazy Trump comment, right? But the dollar is looking pretty good. And you can see here dollar CAD too on the dailies, like it's ready to break down, right? And it's massively overbought in a long-term perspective. Now, euro cruising topside looks like gorgeous, sterling, and then you've got the two little antipodeans there, Aussie and Kiwi. Not much to write home about there. So just looking at the easiest pairs like euro, sterling, and probably, well, I was going to say dollar Swiss, but the safe haven trade does sort of mess this up a little bit. But the three that I like, dollar CAD to the downside, definitely worth focusing on, euro and sterling, right? They're the best major currency pairs that I'm looking at. All right, so just coming back to the market now, when we look at the overall markets, it's good to, especially on Monday, if you haven't been at the screens, just come back and see what's going on across the markets. If you lay your template out like this, you're going to see very clearly, right? US equity futures down, right? They're starting the week down. The bonds, well, the long 10, 20, 30 year prices are down, yields are slightly up, and the prices are up on the 2, 3, and 5. So a little bit of a mixed bag there on the Treasury bonds. Does that give us clear dollar direction? Well, at the moment, we have got dollar direction. It's weaker dollar, right? Euro, sterling, Aussie, Kiwi up. The dollar generally down. And you can see across most of the pairs here that's what's going on at the moment. So the risk on, risk off pairs, yeah. Okay, Aussie, Kiwi, and the CAD all rallying at the moment. And the safe haven trade is pretty much on at the moment, right? And I think that's more to do with just uncertainty around, the US has got this trade bill going through this week. We've still got the uncertainty lingering over from last week on the, Trump's or the court decision to turn over Trump's, tariffs and then the appeal, put them straight back on. That's created a bit of a calamity. So when we go into trading this week, let's just have a look through because it's the start of the new month, right? Week one, there's always a lot more excitement, right? Put last month behind you, especially that last week, which was a bit of a joke. Now we've got some Swiss numbers coming out Monday. Now Swissy doesn't really drive too many things, but you know what? GDP growth, retail sales, probably worth a look, right? If you are in front of the screens. Now you come into the North American session, we've got the ISM manufacturing numbers, right? This is really good to come out early in the week because it could give us a clear sign of dollar direction as we go forward. Now, Tuesday, RBA minutes. Yeah, good to have a look, see what the central banks are doing and talking about. But and you got this manufacturing PMI number out of China. That's probably on Tuesday going to be important for the Aussie and Kiwi traders, right? So keep an eye on that. The coming into Tuesday, inflation numbers and unemployment numbers out of the Eurozone and Switzerland. So definitely have a bo peep. Like to me, the German numbers are the key ones, but definitely worth having a look at as we go into Tuesday. You get to Wednesday, right? The market will start talking about the non-farm payrolls. We've got Aussie GDP growth. It's getting close to where inflation is stalling. That's when GDP becomes a major factor. So that could have a definite impact as we go forward. Then on Wednesday, the Bank of Canada interest rate decision, right? No change expected, right? So don't get all excited about that. But what we could be looking for, and it's a little bit convoluted, like the whole price action can be a bit crap when we're looking at the press conference and trying to, pick holes in what the central bank is saying to try and give us the edge on where that next move is, right? Most of them are still sitting back, scratching their heads, wondering what the hell has happened with these tariffs, right? It's just like so much noise around that and a cloud over the market. So the central banks are not going to be doing too much ahead of that. Now, we've got the ECB rate decision, 0.25% fully factored in, right? So don't go selling euro just on the interest rate cut because it is just about 100% factored in. And then you've got the ECB press conference, very similar to the Bank of Canada press conference, right? When you got press conferences, the real decision is the interest rate and why they did it or why they didn't do it. Then you're sort of clutching at straws if you're looking for a trade just based off the press conference because they are not really interested in creating volatility as the central banks. Now, as we get into Friday, right, you've got a bunch of data, some numbers out of Germany and the UK. They'll be pushed aside as we really look for the non-farm payrolls, right? This is going to be key to, what's the dollar doing? Now, there's a lot of talk about higher inflation and higher unemployment. So we could see some dollar direction come out of this as we go forward. And, every second month we get the Canadian numbers, unfortunately, at the same time. And that's, just a bit of a nuisance because trying to trade dollar CAD when you're looking at, say about 8 different numbers that you want lining up, it's a little bit hazardous, right? To say the least. But I'll tell you what, I will be doing on Thursday night, New York time. I will be going through and showing you how I would be planning trading the non-farm payrolls. Now, I rarely get involved in the payrolls unless we've got some great technical levels. But I'll run you through a couple of key things that you can do to sort of try and minimize your risk and optimize your trading performance around that event. Now, as we start the week, right, as I was just saying, like euro and dollar CAD look pretty good. We do have a one currency in the trade zone. It's in the buy zone on the short-term charts, right? That's the Euro Aussie. And I'm not surprised with Euro looking like it's going to pop. That makes a lot of sense, right? And if you come into the pairs in play on the live trade signals, you'll see a lot of the major currency pairs here now starting to, really line up. We just need the timing of the trades to step up and synchronize with the direction. We get that. We're starting to look for really good trading opportunities. Here's Euro Aussie. It's bullish. We're in the buy zone. You know what? I know it's in the sell zone on the long-term chart, but overall, this thing's going up, right? As in, like right now, and with Euro sort of really stepping up to the game here with the bullish signal, I think the Euro crosses is where the action's going to be at. Right now, don't forget the economic calendar. You can get the full range of the forecasts here. So if you are looking for economic numbers and you don't have, say, Metastock or Bloomberg or something else, you can get the full range, and the data pretty much comes out as the release comes out, right? So this is your best opportunity to really see the numbers, see what's coming out, and then hit it when the numbers are released. All right, so that's where we are, guys. It's just all you need to do is just make it simplify what you're doing, right? So check your daily charts, look for those longer term trends. Euro is going up, right? And if I come back and look at my hourly charts, I'm looking here at Euro. We've got really good trend lines. This here is where we can make some decisions, and overall it's going up. So my preference is to buy, right? Looking to get long on a break above, well, closer to 113 sort of 80 would do it, right? And that's pretty much where we are. It's great to have some technical levels leading into Monday. One other thing, just as I mentioned that too, the Aussie, the price action here is so weird, right? We see that I think it was maybe after one of the tariff announcements where the Aussie, reduced the tariffs on China. You see it in this sort of big sideways moving action. And we do have, support and resistance sitting here. But you know what? The lows here give us the new trend line, right? So it's like an intermediate trend line that you might sort of find along the way. So if you're looking to sell a break, you probably want to sell down through this level. I think the US dollar, and this is the key thing to it, right? The dollar, to me, it just feels like it wants to go down. And if I sort of widen out the charts here a bit, you can sort of see on a short-term perspective, the dollar is going back down, right? Flushing out those fresh positions that were put on. So to me, I'll be looking to get long euro, sterling. I'll probably leave Aussie and Kiwi out because they're just sort of dragging the chain, but dollar CAD to the downside and dollar Swiss, right? So great levels here to start the week. Euro topside resistance, dollar Swiss support, and dollar CAD support. Are we looking for a break? Well, let's just see what the markets are doing because it could either be, we may have to wait till the European session, North American session to get into those trades when momentum shifts around, right? So, I'd love to be selling dollar CAD through that after coming through an overbought situation, give it a real good push to the downside. Anyway, guys, that's it from me for this week at the moment. That's your roundup. Plenty going on. Hopefully, as I said, if you're getting caught up in some of these dollar moves, take the dollar out of it. Start to look for the crosses because if you look through the live trade signals, you'll find a cartload of opportunities here, right? So check that out and hope you have a good week. All the best. Cheerio.